Ordinarily, we will look at it to say it's just a 40 to 50 women meeting. They're just the patrons. But that is the engine room meeting. So, I take it as serious business. And on this note, it is with great delight that I welcome you all to Abuja for the African Women in Leadership Organization AWLO Global Patrons Open Air Ball 2022. While appreciating the entire membership for also agreeing to shift it to the Federal Capital Territory. Thank you for appreciating the position of the FCT as well. We are always happy to play host to landmark events such as this in our country's pulsating unity state. We hope you will find time to enjoy our city and the relaxing ambience with rich hospitality culture. Especially this is for the ministers that came in at Excellency's entourage. Today, we are gathered to kickstart the annual calendar of the activities of the AWLO for the year 2022. The mission of this noble organization to achieve a world where women take their rightful place as home and nation builders, with equal opportunities and access in areas of life in the task before us. Since the AWLO was founded, it has pursued this objective with rigor. Its focus on women leaders in various fields of human endeavor has also afforded both members and stakeholders the opportunities to synergize, to encourage one another, to build capacity, to inspire ourselves, to also reassure ourselves that we can do it and get there. It is indeed a worrisome development, though, that here in Africa, the performance of women in governance and other sectors of the society has been very depressing, inasmuch as we have witnessed remarkable changes. It is unfortunate that some legislative assemblies still resist bills on gender equality in this 21st century. I would say it is unfortunate. But this is also able to happen because women are yet to form the critical mass required in the National Assembly. When we do, these steps will be history. We are concerned here because the alienation of women from the mainstream of nation development comes with a price. And serious prices like when women are in governance, their impacting policies lead to improvements in the living standards of the people. When women are in power, they are more driven by a sense of the collective good than by personal egos. We know that the root cause of corruption, conflicts, insecurities here today is the less number of women we have in places of decision making, taking and implementation. When we are in power, the rumble of the war drums ceases and the dialogues takes over. Why will we not struggle? Why will we not abandon every duty to have the sense of responsibility to ensure that we converge, to put ourselves together and get the act right, that we are in places of decision making so that we cry no more, that widows of wars are reduced. Yes, because when women see this, women know and feel the greatest impact of conflicts and insecurity. We bear a disproportionate burden of the consequences of war. We are widowed. Our children are orphaned. When they cry, our heart bleeds. When the home is empty, when we sit on the dining seats, and find the master seat empty. Can anyone fill that gap? Only the woman will cry for life, no matter what happens. Even if she gets married somewhere, she looks at the children. Secretly, that heart bleeds that they are orphaned. Then no one else feels the pain of lack of good governance, with lack of inclusivity of women in places of decision making, taking and implementation, like the woman herself, because the burden just bounces back. A society loses its soul when women are absent. At the AWLO chambers, particularly of leadership, we cry each time to say, a society engendered is a society endangered. It is serious because most of the time, women in our very own nature, even when we feel the pain, even when our hearts bleed, we still manage to put up the smile. With some lipsticks and powder perhaps, we'll bury the stress, the lines that comes up even when we are not as old. They are the signs of the burden the society is putting and heaving upon the gender, because we are not engaged in our numbers to form the critical mass to take the right decisions passionately. I say and stand before you here today that we are converged not because we are forced to be here tonight. We are here on our own accord. Across the oceans, from Liberia, from Zimbabwe and everywhere, in this hall today we converged just to chat and strengthen the cause that is already charted of gender engagement. We've called it so many names: parity, equality. We've been twisting on and on and on just to accept or to get accepted. Whatever we call it, the simple blunt truth is inclusion, inclusivity. We want to be there. Sometimes women take erratic decisions, very tough ones. A woman decides, no matter how beautiful, you'll be surprised, to put a tray on her head to sell bread, to put meal on the table and feed her children. Ordinarily, the woman pride in her will not let it. She's called all sorts of names. She's taught by anyone, hey, come down, bring the bread, even when they do not want to buy. She still manages to smile. That is that woman. We see them on the pathways, on the roads to farm, in the beauty salons. We build bonds of mutual understanding. We easily make friends. We lend shoulders to each other when we do not even know each other or one another. Just like in this house. Then what is wrong when we now know each other, that the shoulder begins to shake? The same shoulder that invites the sister in should not be that shoulder that will suppress that sister. I am deciding to speak today strongly because ordinarily it would have been, I'm reducing it to a certain level of talk because we are beyond the 40. But we are working towards the convergence of 40 and beyond, because it will be at the global stage where justice will be done to this topic and we shall take responsibility squarely. Because when we do not learn to chat or tell our own stories, some other people will say it from their end. Women are jealous of each other. Are we really jealous of each other? When a woman will just invite you when you know her not, something goes missing somewhere, and we will find out. Amid these shiny examples, my great sisters here and friends of women, we have great women who have made us proud in Africa, whose leadership have stood strong, and they are not doubted at all. We look clearly to mothers in Africa, pillars in politics, that have caused us to be proud. We pay tribute to President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, Nobel laureate, whose leadership of war-torn Liberia stabilized that country and made it a haven of peace. In the same vein, the success of Rwanda's reconciliation and rebuilding efforts cannot be divorced from the fact that 61% of its parliamentarians are women. Rwanda leads the world in women representation and remains a foremost country in Africa in terms of the destination of international investment and tourism, because women lead. Amid these shiny examples, there is no contingent in which the incidence of gender inequality is more pronounced than Africa. No continent at all. The very low representation of women in governance and politics in Africa has deep-rooted causes. These include, but not limited to, centuries of traditional, economic, and social roadblocks against women. Opportunities and resources are skewed against women from birth. For instance, landed property and family heritage in most traditional African societies are passed through the male bloodline. Again, no matter what the woman does and no matter how brilliant, it remains so. When a woman is in a marital home, the inheritance wealth belongs to her husband, since it was passed on to him by his fathers. So right from the word go, the girl child is born disadvantaged, even in the blessings vested upon her by the Lord Almighty. She confronts life empty-handed because she's compelled by the tradition. But modernity and westernization has come to stay. How do we continue to allow even the modernity get defined by the tradition when it's supposed to be the other way around? I am not unaware of certain court rulings in Nigeria in favor of women inheritance and rights. However, the cost of obtaining justice is another kettle of fish. How many women can endure the grueling litigation processes? How many? Some just give up. Or some face situations where they just have to love someone else in the family to remain, to have access to what they labored for, even when she does not love him. So sad. Unfortunately, multilateral institutions have proved so weak as framework for dealing with these brick walls against women. This is why I believe that citizen organizations like AWLO, African Women in Leadership Organization, holds the key to moving the needle of women's emancipation in Africa and beyond. In these efforts, AWLO cannot work alone. Collaboration is key. All organizations, international, regional, and national, have their comparative advantages. And when they work and unite with AWLO to support AWLO, rather than work to pull it down, definitely sky is the limit. I speak standing today to say I urge all women organizations to to once in a while collaborate with the AWLO, the African Women in Leadership Organization, to take the entire movement to places beyond our dreams. Nothing ever works except you work it. There is no question as to whether women have the capacity. We do. I want us to applaud to ourselves. We do applaud for ourselves. We do. The exploits of many of our sisters in the international leadership platforms cannot be overemphasized. They are our own currencies. Wear them on your shoulders. As an AWLO member, I say pride your membership on your shoulders, because we make it happen. Here, women push women. Our sister, Dr. Amina Mohammed, has been reappointed as the Deputy Secretary General of the United Nations. This is a testimony to her excellent performance, even at the global stage. Our own Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala is also the Director General of the World Trade Organization. In the business world, Mrs. Folorunshua Lakija is a billionaire today, of note, and a leading example of the potential of women to manage even meager resources. We are also inspired by high profiles of African women like Miaza Shennafi, the first female Chief Justice of Ethiopia, and Professor Agnes Binagwahu, the Vice Chancellor of the University of Global Health, Equity, Rwanda. But, saving the best, but the last and not the least, our own dogged that has exhibited the gender prowess in the African continent, our own Vice President of Liberia, Her Excellency Joel Howard Taylor, is another shining example, right in this all, and an AWLO. Amongst others, what are we waiting for? Push her up. The challenge before us, and most of us, however, is in having the audacity to challenge the status quo in our environments. Please come out of your shells. AWLO will give you that platform. Male oligarchy, like all other oligarchies, are held by an iron law. They do not give way except the seismic shift engendered by our audacity to break the glass ceilings. Are we ready? Are we ready? Yes. As women leaders, therefore, when I say women leaders, I'm not saying just the women leaders who've been reduced to only in our political parties. Women champions, women who champion the cause of the emancipation of another woman or other women, are those women I'm referring to, and I'm speaking to in this hall and beyond. Please, let's look at how we will mobilize, take responsibility to institutionalize technical and financial resources to support women in the bid to close the gender gap in governance. In Nigeria, for instance, we have the Nigerian Women Trust Fund. In the area of business, we have women in management and business WIMBIs. In the professions, we have some gender-based professional associations like Federation of Women Lawyers, FIDA, and the National Association of Women Journalists NOW, among others. I am also aware of a similar organization in various countries of Africa. We will not make any appreciable process if we all work differently and in silence. I urge us all to please support AWLO. AWLO will spread the wings and tentacles to ensure we push her up. On the strength of the foregoing, I sincerely applaud the efforts of the AWLO in rallying leading African women to a common ground. What is more, this event is coming at a very opportune time in Africa. Nigeria and some other African countries are preparing for elections this year or early next year. Secondly, and lamentably, we are today contending with resurgence of coups. I am silent for a minute, which by their very nature sets the clock of development backwards and open or clearly erases the woman agenda, the democratic gains, and even the human rights, which by extension is also the women's right. And that is why we are all uniting in this room and even in the globe to say, strongly as mothers, we are saying no to those things that have turned us widowed, and that also took, or that will take away our rights from us as human beings and make us refugees, or as mothers when we become widowed. I am very hopeful of our rich global calendar of events scheduled for this year, namely AWLO Diaspora Conference in Las Vegas, United States in June, International Conference at Durban, South Africa in September, AWLO Induction and Partners Award Dinner for Ikotekwe Akwa Ibom, our own place of pride, Nigeria by the end of the year. And I know we'll find many CRIM members queuing in because we are just moving forward. Please push her up. As usual, these events will serve as gathering of lionesses that will boldly step forward. Many others will be hushed and battered. Many potentials will be unleashed in so many fronts and tough. Some, it is from the AWLO meeting, they become emboldened to face the world, to say, I can do it because I have many behind me. Please, whenever you are alone and you feel suppressed, I want you to look across this room. There are many more that are not here. To know even the men, some are just not here, but we know them. They are there to please give you a tap in the shoulder. Ride on. I wish us all, as members of the AWLO and leaders of the AWLO, especially the patrons now, I'm redefining my speech because the room is an extended conference. As usual, these events will serve as gatherings of lionesses, and I want to urge us all. It will also offer us global platform to make our voice heard against negative trajectory of emergent military dictatorships across Africa, to embrace democracy that will unleash our potentials. As I also speak here, I want to appreciate the beautiful decision of our jewel of Africa deciding to make Deputy Minister of Health the President of AWLO in Nigeria. That also is another very clear example of a woman lifting woman up. Please push her up. When we say, please, you will repeat after me. When I say, women push women up, we say great things happen. When women push women up, great things happen. But most of all, when women support women, greater things happen. When women support women, greater things happen. And when women unite, great things happen.
The importance of what we do. And if you listen to the words, you will be enlightened. You will be amazed at what a man sees in us that we don't see in ourselves. And so as we gather, we have learned a new word. We usually say pull her down, the PhD syndrome. Yeah. But 2022 is a new year. A new season. So, because everyone brings something to the table. There's no need to be jealous or just do your own. You see me, I don't care. I just do what I can. Yes. Without looking to my left or looking to my right. Because when you look around and you say, oh, who's doing what? What are you doing? But we bring so much to the equation. You know, God created the world, and I will keep talking this story. And he said everything was what? Good. So what was wrong? That he stopped everything and said, let's create woman. So do you think it was a mistake? No. It wasn't. He knew that man could not fulfill the destiny he had called him to do if the woman was not around. So even God knows the importance of women. So where are we now? We are feeling bad. We are stepping back. We are not fully engaged. You'll be surprised what God will do. But I am honored tonight to have been asked by our founder, a consummate he for she champion. That's what he sleeps, that's what he eats, that's what he does. And he has encouraged other men to step up and see the strength that the woman brings to the table. We want to honor you tonight as we make you a lifetime patron for AWLO. Because AWLO wants the best. Wherever the women are, we are finding them, we are pulling them, we are calling them, we are bringing them. Because it is the best that will inspire the others. That will inspire our daughters to say, hey, if my mother was able to walk this path, so am I. So on behalf of our founder, on behalf of the board of trustees, on behalf of all of our patrons here, on behalf of our he for she champions, I salute you tonight. It is our honor to induct you as a lifetime patron. Wow. Wear this badge with the favor, with the long-term expectations of our younger sisters, because they are looking up to us to show them the way. You can't get tired. But Madam Salif told me one day I was a little tired and frustrated. She left her house and she came to see me. She said, you've become the first female vice president. You are tired. You can't quit. I said, what do you mean? She says, there's no quitting when you step on this platform. Because other women are looking at you. Even though you are walking on fire, you can't. You must smile. You must keep walking. You must keep doing what you are doing. She said, what do you think happened to me? I have walked through fire, but I never quit. Because quitters don't win. And winners don't quit. So we look up to you to join our ranks. Because if you quit, you don't win. But if you just stay a little longer, you'll be surprised that the trophy is just around the corner. So we are honored to bring you on board as a lifetime member. So on behalf of Elisha and our board and all of our sponsors and all of our board members and the patrons here this evening, to induct you as a lifetime member. Congratulations. Thank you for joining us.
Birthday starts today.
That is where we're leaving ahead. So it looks like three. But we're already in it. Amen. Birthday is a season. Amen. So nobody should say it's a season. Amen. Let's mention the name of Jesus. J. He.